right, guys, welcome back to the OUTRUN podcast. We've took a little bit of a kind of a Corona break. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm bringing the podcast back, and the first guest back since is my good friend Jamie Beaubien. I wanted to have him on to kind of kick this thing back into gear. I'd like to do these weekly and have a good friend of mine on to kind of tell their story and see what's going on with everybody. And today we have you on, man. So thanks for coming, dude.
Anytime, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. What's been going on, man? What's new? You want to talk about your current situation? I mean, well, actually, let me before you go into that, let me preface the OUTRUN situation. So Corona kind of, I had the OUTRUN launch. I did my clothing launch. We did well, and then Corona happened. Supply chain issues happened, and I kind of lagged on the podcast. So Jamie reached out, and he's like, "Dude, when are we gonna get together and talk?" And, shoot one of these. And I kept pushing them off. I said, I'm too busy. I've got A, B, and C going on. And you always just told me, dude, just give me a day and a time and I'll show up. And you kind of lit a fire under me. And I'm happy you did because it got me, back into this. So thanks for doing that. And, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been, it's been kind of a rough year. All this stuff happened. And then due to, other than coronavirus circumstances, I recently lost my job. August 31st, I was terminated. Haven't received unemployment yet. That's been a big issue. You have 30 million people roughly this year file for unemployment. Right. So, but it kind of put me in a position to think, okay, you've been in chemical manufacturing for 9-10 years. Is that what I want to do the rest of my life? So, this has given me time to really view my options, explore other avenues, network, and go from there. And that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. I
feel like it's a similar story to a lot of people right now. At the beginning of Corona, I left my job in November, not Corona related, but it kind of rolled into Corona. I was working from home for like 3 months at that point. Corona hit in March, and everybody was working from home, right? A lot of people who were at factories or at plants or in offices were sent home, and you really realized what made the country work, what made the economy work. And you were actually working through Corona. You guys were essential because you did a lot of chemical work, a lot of stuff for government agencies.
Aviation, yeah.
So, yeah, you realized that what you did was important and meaningful. But was it meaningful to you, right? Was it a paycheck? Were you just collecting it? Were you working just to get by? Not to get by, but just to, was it really giving you any type of enjoyment, right? And I know you enjoyed who you worked with, but did you enjoy what you do day in, day out, right?
Absolutely not. I was punching a clock and collecting a paycheck. That was the extent of it. Felt like I was stuck in this area of stagnance. Like they say, everything happens for a reason. I don't know how true that is, but I'm a believer that you can take the good from the bad, if that makes sense. Did I want to get fired? No. I had a couple, hated my boss, not going to lie, but I think I have a hernia. So I was kind of relying on the insurance from my company to make it through that, but that's now, I got that resolved, the whole insurance thing, but no, I didn't like what I did. I'd be honest with you, I hated it.
So to that point, a lot of people stick with their jobs. It's sad, but in the country, medical is a huge thing, and having benefits is a huge thing. So people are like, dude, I can't leave my job. I can't start my new venture that I want to do because I have stability, right? I've got the paycheck. I've got health care. Maybe you have a kid or two or a wife that relies on your health benefits. You're a single man, but still, you don't want to be without health care in your 30s. So that holds a lot of people back from pulling the trigger. And I tell everybody, keep your 9 to 5 as long as you can. Work on your secondary hustle after hours, right? But you were kind of thrown into. Actually, it was like weeks before you're leaving your job that me and you were talking, and I said, Jamie, I think there's an opportunity for you to do something else. Be a brand or a personality. I've known you for almost 10 years now, probably over 10 years, and
about 08, 09, yeah.
Yeah, so I know you through the family business. You were a friend of friend, and now I consider you one of my good friends. And I was trying to tell you that I see more in what you have to offer than just being what you were doing. I mean, obviously what you're doing is great, it's respectable, but I feel like there's more for you out there. So that's why I wanted to have you on and kind of talk through your thought process of leaving the job and maybe doing a pivot. Maybe you're going to be going back into skilled trades. You said you wanted to look into another opportunity, which is still on the table, absolutely. And you could still do that and look at other opportunities. With social media, you're either ingesting content or creating content, right? And I've
bit of
pivoted.
both.
Yeah, so you're coming into it and you're new to it and you're learning how to adapt. And so that goes into career opportunities, right? The old school mentality of just either being, working in a brick and mortar business, or in my case, working in a party store, food service industry. I thought there was other avenues and better avenues of making a living. So I attempted doing this social media podcast thing, and I wanted to bring you on. I kind of wanted to create like a collective of friends who could do similar things, right? And I saw that in you, and there's potential there. So
I agree, and to go back to that, like even if it's something that you can't make a living doing, if it's something you enjoy doing, that's all that matters,
Absolutely.
I think tying that little bit, like, because the fact of the matter is, we have to generate an income.
Right.
And I got a house. I have 2 vehicles. I have to eat. Everyone has bills, so you have to make a living. But I think if you can even just do something you enjoy doing in your free time, and it's bringing you a little bit of happiness, and other people like it, it's like it'll bring maybe your misery level down from a 9 down to maybe like a 5.
Right.
Right. You might look forward to like, oh, it's podcast time, or it's it's making Instagram video time, whatever the case. And and I think the little rewards we get from it, like people think everything has to be tied into like monetary. It doesn't. Sometimes just someone telling you, oh, fucking hilarious, or complimenting you on your workout video, it's like that's rewarding in itself.
So I was telling you, like, what was it going on? Where was I going to go with that?
And dude, you're going to get backlash though too. People are going to tell you what you're doing is stupid. But I've come to realize it don't matter if I'm exercising or planting a fucking garden. They're gonna watch it and they're gonna say something.
So I called you earlier and I said, actually for the last 2 weeks, guys, we've been trying to set this thing aside and set an hour aside or 2 hours aside to do this. It's always been pushed back, and it's just about not physically hitting record, but just doing that thing you want to do, whether it's this or working on another project that has nothing to do with social media. You just need to put the effort in. Everybody wants to be the entrepreneur and start the business or start the thing, whatever that thing may be, man. Whatever hobby it is, just start it, right? You asked me earlier, Edmund, how'd you figure out how to do all this, right? There's microphones, there's cameras, there's computers, all these wires. You just figured it out. And even just until 10 minutes ago, we were messing around with these cables.
Yeah,
right? We were just getting it going. So you just figure it out and you get it going, and we've got all this. And in the last few months of me doing this, I've had people reach out, 3-4 people, a couple family members reach out like, Edmund, I'm doing a podcast. What do I need? What do I need to get started? Hell, my neighbor across the street, he's asking me like, dude, I see what you're doing. What do I need, right? And people want to do this stuff. The information's out there. It's on YouTube. It's on podcasts. It's available to ingest. Why not create it? Why not be part of it rather than just a watcher or an ingester, right? So
it's funny you say that about YouTube. I had a buddy. He bought his house maybe 6-7 years ago, but he knew nothing about home renovations. And that's how. And I'd go over there because I'm always scared to jump into something I don't know anything about. So I just avoid it or push it off or don't pursue it. And he would be taking on these home projects. I'm like, dude, it's the first time you bought a house. Like, how do you're a truck driver. How do you know how to do this? He's like, just told me, he goes, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube University.
Yeah, man.
For sure. That's where I learned everything, man. That's my first search engine, to be honest, is how do I fill in the blank? That's literally, if I'm stuck, there's usually a video out there. And if there's not, then there's a niche for you to create that video and put it out there. Like if I can't find the video, then I do that thing, I record it and I put it up. Like right now I'm doing that truck build.
Yeah.
So like anything I do, I'm like, you know what, there's not a video for this. Let me record it and put it out there. And then somebody's going to find value in it.
One of your videos generated like a pretty significant amount of views.
I do the clothing thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to like pivot the clothing thing to like automotive and maybe fitness or whatever. So like I try to do a wide spectrum of things to do, videos on. So this is just one of them. But for sure, there's somebody that wants to do what you're into. There's, it doesn't really matter what you're into. Somebody's gonna want to watch.
Well, with social media and the like, the cost of things now, like to have your own home, it's what would you call it?
What's that?
Like your home, like man, drawing a blank.
Like a home office, home studio.
Yeah, home studio. Yeah, to have your own home studio.
Sure.
10 years ago may have cost you like.
Dude,
they
call it the barrier to entry, right? The barrier to entry used to be, you needed a producer, an audio guy, a video guy, studio space. Dude, we're in my home garage in a 10 by 10 little corner area.
8-year-olds making millions of dollars playing Fortnite.
Yeah, that too, absolutely. Well, so let's talk about how I want you to do a standalone monologue.
I don't know, man.
Maybe a standalone, maybe it's guest, but I want you to use the studio space and have you on this side of the microphone and just put you in front of a camera, man, because I really feel like there's something there. And we'll just put it out there, and if it sticks, it sticks. But I feel like there's something there with you, Jamie. You do your 1 week rants. I think we were talking about babbling with Bobes or some other silly name.
I want to coin that one quick.
We'll work on the name and the branding, but there's something there with you, like with your you just riff on these things that either piss you off or get you excited. And I feel like once a week we can have you on and do this, and I'd love for you to use this space and do that. So that might be something coming up.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, there would. It's I think a big thing, like we talked about, jumping into something you're unfamiliar with,
right.
And getting in front of a camera is a lot more nerve-wracking than people think. And people tell me dude, you're shy. It's like, dude, I'm way more shy. The Jamie Beaubien that everyone sees, the guy that likes to drink and party and have fun and he's always laughing. He's a lot more timid, and I don't want to say insecure, but closed,
right,
than people think.
Right.
I'm a lot more sensitive than people think too. People think I'm just this joking around.
Dude, you're the biggest judge of yourself. You judge yourself more than anybody.
But I'm deep down, I'm a softie, man. And I'm I get sometimes I want to crawl in my shell and just say, dude,
yeah,
world, I'm going in here.
Dude, being an introvert is so easy, right? Especially right now with Corona, everybody just wants to shut in and just not interact. And that's what I've failed too. So this last 6 months, I haven't had anybody in, talk to anybody. I've got a bunch of friends who wanted to do this, and I was either too nervous or scared to put more episodes out. Just because, what value am I bringing? Am I even a good host? Am I even hosting this one well, right? So as I'm even talking to you, I'm like, dude, am I doing a good job? Am I that good? Should I ask him a better question? It's just figure it out as you go. And that's kind of where I'm at. So if I can, get you to, dial it up a bit and push me, just like you called my bluff. You said, Edmund, what the fuck, dude? How come I haven't been on yet? What's going on? So, I sat here and straightened everything out so I can get you on. And I'm glad you did, because we're here at 2-3 p.m. on a Monday, and we're rocking this out.
And it seemed like we talk about it, too, you'd figure out, hey, let's do it. And I would have an excuse.
Right, or I would. For sure,
dude, and I would ask you, and you'd have an excuse, or I'm busy taking care of things. But I think a lot of times the excuses come from fear.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, all this stuff was ready. It was all here.
That's what I mean. The people make excuses dude, for things as simple as why didn't you apply for that? People fear rejection, and they fear criticism too.
Mm-hmm.
It's human nature. People don't want to be rejected, and they don't want to be. That's why when there's a chick sitting by herself at a bar and a guy doesn't go up because he doesn't want to get turned down. I just messaged some chick the other day, asked her out on a date. You know what she said?
How'd that go?
Didn't get a response.
Just left John red.
No, when I see her, I'm gonna ask her, why aren't we going on that date?
That's what I love about you, Jamie, is the whole no fucks attitude is overplayed, right? But for you, literally you live that mantra, and it's just if I don't try, then what is it? It doesn't mean anything.
No, but I've toned down a bit too, though. I still.
Oh yeah.
And I try to have a outgoing, humorous approach to things, because, and when rejection is the outcome, like it makes it like a little bit better. I don't even try to play it off like, oh, I was just kidding anyways, but it's like, thanks, but
dude, isn't rejection funny? Like, go back to like middle school, high school. So like me as a kid growing up, I was like, obviously an immigrant to a new area, adjusting to American lifestyle, and I always felt like I was the oddball, right? So like me approaching girls, I didn't look like everybody else. I didn't look like all these other guys that were trying to get girls. So like I pulled myself out of the equation. I wasn't even gonna approach girls. Isn't that like so? As you get older, that like middle school, high school nervousness to like get outside of your boundaries like leads into your like regular life, not just dating or girls, but
dude,
like your career choices and stuff too. You end up just being
it'll like I said, it'll leak in everything. You won't if you've never worked out before, you won't go to the gym with your buddy because you don't want to look like a bitch.
Invited, but you just need that invitation. You just need that pull in.
Even being invited, people make excuses because I never did this. I don't want to go in there and look like a bitch. My arms are 12 inches round and I can't lift weights. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's all about it's about breaking the ice, knocking down that barrier and moving forward and doing it. And it's the same thing with this.
Absolutely.
I was off social media for years, and then you just said, "Dude, we're gonna do it right now." Yeah, and it was it was easy.
Just do
it was
Step
easy
one,
as
man.
that.
Just take that first step.
Step one. So
what's funny is that first step you took, and then you made all those adjustments since, and here we are now. Is you're getting all this engagement on Instagram. Which, by the way, what's your Instagram handle? What do you go by?
Jamie.Bobes.
Jamie.Bobes, right?
Bobes.
With a YouTube channel coming up, and we don't know like what the spectrum of what you're gonna fit in or what you're gonna do. I just want you out there, man. Just creating content, and something will stick. Something will work, man.
It's funny. Bobes came from. For 1 year, I went to Roosevelt High School in Wyandotte.
Okay.
I went to I went to Gibraltar from 2nd through 12th, but for 10th, I went to Roosevelt.
Wait, 1 year you went to a different school?
Yeah, because I moved with my dad. He lived in a rough neighborhood and didn't want me to go to school in that school district. So
okay.
I went to Wyandotte. And this kid there, he used to call me Bobes. So that's where Bobes started for me.
I like Bobes. I feel like more people should have called you Bobes.
Well, I ran into him. Funny enough, I ran into him and his, I think, soon-to-be wife at Bruligans recently. And I seen him. I said, hey, his name's Zag. His nickname's Zags. I said, what's up, Zags? And we got to talking. And I pulled up my Instagram. He followed me. And I said, funny enough, you gave me the nickname Bobes. No joke. I said, you're the first person to ever call me Bobes. So
that's funny. That's
kind of where that came from.
I've got a cousin, Antonio, and I always called him Tone, just short. And he named his whole thing Tone Time. This whole deal. And I said, is that? He goes, yeah, that's because you always call me Tone. And I said, he goes, you're the only person that ever called me Tone. And I said, no shit.
It's funny how nicknames start too.
Yeah, and you need to what is it? Not gain, but you need to be given your nickname. You can't create it.
No,
right?
you
can't
can't.
be like, call me Bobes, dude. Like, no, you just
you
need to. Hey, dude, my name's David Beaubien.
Bobes, bro.
I go by Bobes.
Yeah.
So what else is going on, man? What else is pertinent and relevant in your life right now? What else? This adjustment period, right? So you're 2 weeks out
from my job.
From your job, right?
About
so you're
3 weeks,
transitioning.
almost 3 weeks.
And you have an opportunity to be what was that? What's the skill trade that you're looking?
It's not
to
an
get
opportunity. Into? I guess you could say it's I'm applying.
You're applying to be what is it?
It's for a pipe fitter apprenticeship.
Okay. So like, say you get this right, you'll make a great living. You'll have the skill trade under your belt, and yeah, you can absolutely do that. Which we're not downplaying, because a lot of people downplay the 9-to-5 or the laborer position. But some of those fucking guys make $100K a year, and they do really well. But like, are they getting all the enjoyment they want out of life? Are they getting everything they possibly can?
Yeah,
right?
because like we talked about, rewards not always money. That guy. The guy, I don't want to, the guy that invented the moonroof or whatever from Groseal.
The moonroof?
The moonroof. Sunroof.
The guy who invented the sunroof lives in Groseal?
He did. He's dead.
No, he didn't.
He lived there. I don't think he's from there. I think he's from Germany.
He invented the sunroof?
Yeah. It was Hans Proctor.
There was no sunroof before this man.
No, this was the guy that he invented it.
This is the first time I've heard of it.
And the funny thing is, you know how the invention came about? Is, to my understanding, he was a German engineer. He was a manic depressant. Okay. So he wanted light into the car.
They do say sunlight helps depression.
Yeah, and he ended up,
Wow, that's actually really
I
fucking
believe
cool.
it was mid to late 90s, hung himself. At the time of his death, I think he was worth like $800 million. Put it this way, his widow, his wife, to this day is still living like a queen.
For sure.
Yeah. I want to say.
Wow, is that local?
Yeah, dude, I want to say.
That's why we have so many sunroof manufacturers here in Allen Park.
Probably, and I want to say that one of the biggest estates on Groseal currently is his wife's estate.
Wow. Okay, I did not know.
And he was a big deal too. Like I think when the Republican Party members would stay at his house, helicopter pad, guest house.
Dude, the guy literally just looked up at his headliner and said, "I want a window here.
I don't know the history of it, but
I want a window
I think
from
he
where
had the
sunlight to
patent
come
on
in."
that, yes.
You know what's funny is like seeing inventions in hindsight. You're like, that's easy. That's day one
easy,
shit.
yeah.
I want a giant window on my roof.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure
No,
he had the patent on
that
the moonroof.
sounds about right,
I mean,
dude.
he got $800 million from somewhere.
So there's a sunroof and a moonroof. What's the difference there? I think a sunroof is the one that doesn't move.
Yeah, and
Or one
no.
just vents.
And you'd almost think the sunroof, because I think people are more like excited about the sun.
What's a moonroof? Moonroof's the one that doesn't move.
I think maybe a sunroof is just a stationary piece of glass.
And
I think the moonroof is motorized. It moves up, moves in.
those are See, we got to figure these topics out. We got to figure these out.
We don't want to be feeding people false information.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. And you hear my air compressor in the background. That'll shut off in 30 seconds. Yeah, man. So I'm interested to see where this goes. We've got, I don't know, another couple weeks here to figure out what we're going to do as far as you. I really want you to do a podcast of your own. Babbling with Bobes. We'll start you a YouTube channel. I think that's the next move, man.
I have a few people I know I could have as guests, too, that would do
Yeah?
well. Yeah.
Yeah, so like having you on and having other friends. We were talking about my friend Kendall Roush, and I want to have him on because this guy talks about just being financially fit, right? So a lot of people like, be physically fit, whatever else. Kendall is like financially stable, and that's what they don't teach you in school is how to like budget yourself, figure out investments and stock markets. Nobody teaches you that shit.
No, they don't. You know what? I was just talking to someone about this the other day. What I've learned and retained from public schooling, how to read and how to write.
And all the math that you do not use.
Maybe a little bit of math that I do know and some social skills, But I guess I learned social skills from my friends, and I learned how to respect adults, or respect my superiors from my parents.
Yeah.
I learned pretty much for 12 years to read and write.
So social skills I picked up from the store. I was a huge introvert, and then I worked at the store, and it like forced me to interact with people. You need to know like that basic, like a new person comes in, introduce yourself, give them the gist of who you are, maybe a little bit of small talk, and send them off, right? And that's increased my like social vocabulary tremendously. And I had to learn about like little things like sports, whatever they're into, hunting, whatever else. You've got to know a little bit about everything to be able to interact with everybody.
You do, man. And that's why so many people are like one-trick ponies. Like people have the MMA podcasts. People have the comedy podcast. People have the workout.
Right. Comedy's blowing up right now for sure.
I want a little bit of everything, And
Hey.
I think I can. I'm pretty good at incorporating like. I always feel like I'm a person that knows a little bit about a lot of things.
Right.
I'm no master of like one trade, but I can. That's what's always been good for me is I can relate. I can relate to so many people.
Hey, so you touched on comedy for a quick second. I want to touch on that. So I told you this a while back, and apparently you hear about it from multiple people. But I'm a big advocate of like if you see something in somebody that's like genuine, and to me, I've told you. Like, not to be like, oh, you're so funny, bro, you should be a comedian. But legitimately, if I find an open mic night in COVID times right now that would allow you to get in front of a mic and maybe like 20 live people spread socially distanced, I will set that up. I will arrange for it. I will have a fucking limo come pick you up and take you to the place. I'd love for you to just be on a mic and rant, right?
And I'll tell you right now, like my, I guess you want to call it comedic integrity. It's not, dude. The thing about me, like, me and my buddy were texting the other day, And he sent me, he goes, you need to be on a reality TV show, uncut and unscripted.
Yeah.
And I said, that's where, like, the humor of me, like, when the stuff I post on Instagram, it's not like I'll be sitting there and, like, I'll see something or think, and it's like, and it just happens. And, like, so many of my old coworkers, too, would be like, where do you come up with this shit? I'm like, dude, it just, like, boom. It's like a little firework, like, pop.
Yeah.
And it just comes out through, like, my buddy Kevin I used to work with. He told me, he said, Jamie, you're one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever met.
I love it. I love it. But a lot of people get but
you don't want to be
typecast into that character, right? You don't want to be a character of yourself.
No.
That's the biggest problem that people fall into. Like, I follow a bunch of guys on Facebook and Instagram that are like typecast comedians where they just do a one-trick thing, right?
No, and you watch them for a short amount of time, and it's like, I've seen the first episode. You've seen all 12 episodes.
Like the one guy, Trevor Wallace. He's huge right now, right? He's just like he's White Claw and he's Bang, and he just makes these like kind of like college-esque, college-oriented little skits, and that's well and good. But like, what's the longevity to that, right? You've got a short career.
People want reality, though. When I say reality, I'm not talking about like the fucking real world.
Oh, that's like false reality.
It's false reality. Yeah. It's not. They're getting paid and to get put up in a place and party with the guys are hanging out with hot chicks, the chicks are hanging out with hot dudes, and they're drinking. That's not reality.
I never understood real world. Yeah,
it's stupid, and it is. I'm sure it's scripted. I mean, there's a little bit of drama when you have.
Oh, it's fun to watch other people live in a mansion,
but
and not have to pay rent.
When I say reality, people want to see They don't just want to see the good. Mm-hmm. They want to see the bad. They want you to be able to. People want to be able to relate to you on any kind of emotional level.
Literally was going to say relatable.
Whether it be
absolutely
happy, pissed off about sports, how you hate your boss, emotional problems, relationship problems. People, they do. They want all that.
Yeah,
they do. And I can't tell you how many times I've just been out and about, and you can see the distress on someone's face, and you ask, what's wrong, and they tell you, start going into the spiel about how. My dog's sick right now, but how their animals not doing well, or their wife's sick, or their kids hate them, or their job's sucky. Like, people want real. They want real.
Don't you see that now more than ever with people being distressed about what's going on?
Oh, dude.
Corona, the economy, the riots, the divide we have right now. People are so on edge. Like, any little thing will trigger them. You were telling me earlier there was a guy at the bar that approached you guys and just wanted to start a fight for nothing, right?
Yeah.
So you're in your head, you're like, what is your problem? What's going on in your life where you're, like, literally antagonizing other people?
I was fucking clueless, too. And I even looked over to two older women and said, did I do something wrong?
Right. And this guy just obviously had a bad day and just wanted to take it out.
I told this story to someone the other day. So I go to Meijer. I pick up my, 12 things. And, we're dealing with, we're in some crazy times, but there was maybe 60-year-old black man walking behind me, and I noticed he just had a cheesecake. Well, due to the coin shortage, when you go to Meijer, self-checkout lines are card only. And I noticed he had a cheesecake and a $20 bill in his hand.
Right.
And he's like looking, no one saying anything. I said, excuse me, sir. He turned around and looked. And I said, is that all you have? He said, yeah. I said, dude, cut in front of me, man. Which put him next in line.
Right. You got all these things. You just got one thing.
And he said thanks. And he turned around and he said, "It's a damn shame you don't see that behavior too much these days."
It's a simple gesture.
And I thought, dude, like, that's what I said. Like, to live in a peaceful world's as easy as that. Like, I held the door open for a woman at the Chinese restaurant next to Kroger the other day. She was probably 15 feet away. And I said, you coming in here? She goes, yeah, I held the door open. She goes, oh, thank you. Like, just the little things like that, man, go a very, very, very long way. You don't have to be and I'm convinced it's harder to be an asshole than it is to be a good human being. And I'll tell you what, because I used to kind of be an asshole.
It's super easy right now to be,
but people
antagonizing through the screen.
Well, people... Right now, dude, people are making excuses to be. I understand you're cooped up and you can't do all your ordinaries, your itineraries all fucking jacked up, but COVID and it's no excuse to treat someone like shit. You get a lot further. You can get, my uncle always told me, you can get the same message across multiple ways.
Mm-hmm.
And you conduct yourself with tact and care, and that'll get you a lot further than being a dick.
So we were talking, not me and you, but me and the girl. We were talking about text messaging and how a text could be read two different ways.
Oh, it can be perceived different. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's not me vocalizing to you. It's just
there's
words
no
on the
tone.
screen. So like it could be satire, it could be dry, or it could be angry, or like you could be happy. But I could read it all sorts of ways, and the way I take it, I come at you aggressively, like, what did you just say to me? But like when I'm sitting across from you and I'm trying to tell you how I feel, and I'm looking you in the eyes, for some reason it's totally different than if you were at your house and I was at mine. I was like, hey Jamie, blah blah blah, like, and you would take it a totally different tone than we're sitting across from each other. You and that guy at Myers at the checkout line, that could have been a totally different situation if you were just texting back and forth, right?
Oh,
and sometimes that's all it is just like being in person and talking. But that's what we're missing. We're missing a lot of that these days.
I text my buddy the other day. What did I say to him? He got back from wherever he was, and he texted me. He said, "What's up, buddy?" And I said, "Don't talk to me!" Exclamation point.
You were irritated.
No, I wasn't. I was joking.
Oh, see?
Don't. Yeah,
you just told me that.
Laying in bed,
hungover,
hungover, and he goes, "Are you being serious? I want my bike back." Because I'll go hang out at his house and ride his bike back to my house.
Yeah. I think I picked you up from that guy's house.
Yeah, that day I hit my bike, but Abo, yeah. But he goes, I can't tell if you're being serious, and it's like, dude, you read that text differently than it. You interpreted it different than I should have.
You've got to add emojis, buddy.
Yeah,
emojis will help.
I fucking hate emojis.
But that lets you know the tone. You know, emojis have been around since like Roman era. I mean, so like little scriptures, they used to be written into wall into stone. They used to put little like happy or sad face next to them
to kind of
to let you know the tone of that conversation.
I believe that.
So emojis, people think like, emojis are like a fairly new thing in social media. It's been a thing in scriptures.
Well,
it wouldn't be after the sentence. It would be on the side going vertically, whether this is a positive thing or a negative thing that I'm about to say.
Well, that makes sense.
Because you can't read the tone.
No, but you know what emoji means, right? It's Latin for mood.
No shit.
I just made that up, but it sounds good, don't it?
That sounds fucking good, you son of a bitch. You got me good. Latin for mood. You're an asshole. But yes, what I told you was true, though.
No, I believe
emojis have been a thing in scripture. It wasn't like a bunch of like eggplants and stuff, but it was moods, man, and that's been written into scripture. It really was. I don't know if it was happy and sad faces, but I almost positively. So scripture was actually Egyptian scripture was it was pictograms, right? It was pictures. Like you think of another.
I'm sorry, you said eggplant. I was going to say some ancient Roman lady wrote a nice passage about Zeus, and next to him, his name was eggplant.
It was an eggplant. Hey, Zeus should have a giant eggplant next to him. No, so if you think about like Egyptian writing, those were all images. There was literally no letters. They were just all imagery. So that was the original emojis.
I forget what they're called. Hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics, absolutely.
Hieroglyphics, yeah.
So yeah, if you think back, that's the early emojis, man. I don't know how we got on that topic, but.
Adding emojis to your text to
yes
to
let you know about your
so they can interpret you the way they should. That's why the best one you can send if you're in a good mood, just send the praying hands.
That is I like my favorite that I send with everything. It gives a nice calm tone and a nice happy tone is the sweaty smiley face or the sweating smiley face, like being sarcastic. I'm kind of joking. What I'm saying here should not be taken aggressively or verbatim. I'm just kind of saying something. That's my favorite.
About the only two I send are thumbs up or fist bump.
Fist bump is good.
Yeah.
Fist bump's always a good one. Thumbs up I feel like is overplayed. You might as well not even send. Like people who write LOL at the end of a text message, just get rid of that shit, bro.
Oh, dude, LOL got really big during AIM.
Yeah, but people still use LOL. I'm like, dude, I get that you're laughing. But
a lot of... Yeah, because you're not really laughing out loud, though.
I think it's just letting you say, whatever I wrote before this, don't take it so seriously. Like, I might be talking shit.
It's no different than haha.
Yeah, I stopped using haha a long time. I think I replaced the little, like, sweaty smiley face with LOL.
If someone says something to me that I, like, literally laugh out loud at, I respond with fucking hilarious.
I like that. I'll literally call you if you tell me some funny shit. Because you left me a voicemail the other day that I still listen to. I was fucking dying. Actually, I'll pull that boy up. That boy was pretty funny. So, like, There's times where I'm so goddamn busy. Not that I'm like so cool, but I'm just really so busy
You got a lot going on though.
that I don't have a chance. But so Jamie left me this, and I was like checking it on my way home, and I was like, this son of a bitch, I'm gonna call him.
Hey man, running to the store to get some flapjack mix, eggs, and turkey.
Oh, that wasn't you.
It was
That
me.
was you, but that wasn't the one I was talking
There
about.
was a-
Where was the one? Jesus, yeah. You must have left me more than one. The flapjacks. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to the store to eat. Yeah, flap. Dude, that was a good one. I thought that one was better.
Let's do this one.
Answer the phone, you fucking asshole.
This is the one I was talking about. The flapjack one was good, but for some reason I died so hard just listening to that. So I'll take a voice. Like, nobody leaves voicemails anymore, but I love that you left me.
Oh, dude,
that.
I do it all the time. To
Nobody
people.
leaves voicemails
Yeah.
anymore. Like you and this guy Edwin, who always fucking calls me. I love it. It's funny as shit. All right, so let's wrap this up and say at some point, two things. Open mic night. It's going to happen. And you are going to start your own solo podcast with or without guests soon.
With guests, yeah.
With guests.
I can't promise the open mic night. I'd have to be really buzzed up and just start interact. It would be more of a, instead of a skit, it would be more of like a just live interaction with the crowd.
Yeah, you can do crowd. They call it crowd work.
Yeah, it'd be, start off. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, just talk shit about this couple over
Yeah.
here and over there. I feel like there's something there, Jamie, and we're gonna figure this thing out, man. So you're like career pivot. I want to document this. This is podcast one of like the Jamie Beaubien babbling with Bob situation, man. I'm excited to see where it goes. So I'm happy we did this, man.
Yeah, me too, man.
Thanks for coming on, and I appreciate it, bro.
Thanks for having me, dude.